Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
Ancient sands, heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred!
Hey y'all, how are you? Me, I'm fine. I'm good. If you have not forgotten about me, I'd really appreciate it if you continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also follow me on Instagram at YBSpeaks. And let's just tell the truth, I no longer care to promote TikTok. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta take back everything I said before. Let's just tell a very real truth. TikTok is not the same. Prior to the fake shutdown, let's just tell the truth because that's really what it was. It was all fake. It was staged to make Donald Trump look as if he came in and saved the day. Because everything bad that's happened in this world, in our life, in our experience, is because of the Biden administration and the Obama administration, girl. No one will ever take responsibility for their lack, okay? I just really feel like prior to that fake shutdown, you could really speak your mind. Freedom of speech was free over down to the TikTok. Now, all of a sudden, I'm being censored, girl. I'm being sent these violation notifications, girl. Like, over the, literally, not even cussing, not even harassing, not even bullying anybody, girl. Now, when y'all were only striking the girls down for that shit, I was here for it. Because I don't like bullying, harassing, and none of that shit. But now you can't even say anything without getting a violation notice. So I can only imagine how many creators have been affected by that as well. So I'm good, TikTok girl. I know y'all made some kind of deal. America despises free speech, even though it's written in our Constitution, even though it's one of the things that's supposed to make this country so great, which is being able to say what the fuck you want, how the fuck you want, especially in times like this when there's so much injustice going around worldwide. They don't like the fact that, girl, y'all say y'all love technology, but then you condemn technology for doing what technology is supposed to do, which is protect and serve. Hello, God. Y'all get mad at that. The reason you don't like technology is because we're using that technology to record y'all foolishness. Your misdeeds late in the midnight hour. People are able, hello, God, to communicate and tell a truth that could touch everybody across the world. Why do you think there's so much hate for streamers? Even though now I'm starting to get on that train too, because y'all are not using y'all powers for good. But that's another conversation for another day. But girl, yeah, TikTok can kiss my ass. I'm over it, girl. I'm not making content over there. Fuck that. I'm gonna continue doing my little YouTube shit. I'm still getting into a Patreon, because girl, I have figured it out. So every blue moon, someone in the comments reminds me of the book I was supposed to write. Well, I am really about to get into that. I just got to get another computer, and I'm going to get on that because I've had these moments of inspiration and, you know, seeing other people bring, my whole life, I've had a series of books that I wanted to write. I've had other books that I've wanted to write things, and many computers ago, we were halfway there, but I never really stuck with it. So, you know, shout out to Scotty, who's inspiring me to get back into it. I really need to get my shit together, and I feel like I have several stories that just need to be told, and one that, well, two that are really near and dear to me. One is my pleasure points type of conversations, hello God, which I'm going to be changing that name to the name I plan on giving my book. And the book is going to be entitled Late in the Midnight Hour, Hello God. And my Patreon is also going to be called Late in the Midnight Hour. Okay? So as soon as I'm able to get a good deal on a decent computer, hello God, that's going to help me. Yeah, I'm jotting down little things here and there as I'm inspired. That way I remember when it's time to really get into the things in terms of writing, hello God. But I think it's going to be cute. And I'm also going to be writing a book about my life. But it's not, I'm an interesting person, but I'm not interesting enough on that level. But the way in which I'm considering writing the book about my life, it will be kind of how I am with you all. Entertaining, hello God, funny of course, insightful, informative, you know, a lot of wisdom and knowledge given, you know, personal life anecdotes, you know. I think that would be interesting. I have a lot to say. So, yeah, I'm gonna be getting into that. I've been off work for the past several days. And I really needed that. And I'm gonna need it again come July, hello God, because I will be taking another 4 or 5 days off on these hoes too. Let me just tell you, girl, I'm telling you, girl, they flooded the girls' PTO at the beginning of the year, girl, so I have nothing but time to spare, period, okay? And that's what prepare the others. That's what it's for, girl. PTO, prepare the others. So, yeah, in July, I'm gonna take another 4. I just live, girl. Like, I gotta get rich, bitch. Okay, I gotta hit the lottery, girl. Something gotta happen, girl, because, like, when you're off more than your regular 2 days, you just don't want to go back. Even though you ain't did shit. Because I ain't did nothing. I actually had no plans to do anything. I really just needed to chill. I needed mental health days. Plural on plural, bitch. Because you just get to that point in your life where you're just tired. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and you just that job, girl, over it. The good news is I'm supposed to be trying to figure out what's next with this job because, you know, I gotta do something, girl. I'm gonna be 40 years old soon. I need something. I need to get my shit together. Money needs to be stacked. Credit score needs to be on the rise. Hello God. You know, like there's gotta be something, you know. Speaking of that, girl, so for those that's been following, you know, my apartment situation, well, apparently the owner has decided he hired some guy a couple months back. I saw him around. I never really knew if he was part of the landscaping business or the property management business or both. Obviously, it's both. So they are firing the current property management company. And girl, when I tell you those girls were shady with their stuff, that property management company was a lot shadier than I ever could have thought. Honey, just a brief little breakdown of that real quick before we get into the real things of the web series world, because there's some things I have to address. Hello God. Girl, so back in January, I contacted the property management company because I was dumbfounded at the fact that I have not got my renewal notice yet. They're like, oh, you don't have a lease. You're on a month to month. I said, since when? I remember signing a lease last year. Oh, that lease is null and void due to the fact the owner, we couldn't get in contact with him to sign the lease. Huh. Okay. That's a problem. Girl, I left it alone. I had a bunch of stuff happen in my apartment. AC broke, girl. Ceiling fans broke, girl. A portion of my living room had lost power. Girl, so you know when you go to looking around your shit, you're like, girl, you know what? I need to put some work orders in. You know, I be so busy, girl. I don't really be paying attention too much. You know, you get used to shit after a while. And I go to looking around, I'm like, girl, I need this thing needs to be handled. And I've been told y'all I've been basically begging for a remodel for a while. I've been living where I'm at for 6 years now. There hasn't been anything updated about this place, especially if y'all are gonna be increasing the bitch's rent, right? So I put a bunch of work orders in, girl. The property management company, you know, at the time I didn't know that we were getting rid of them. They were sending these fools over and they weren't completing the work. And we're talking about just not even 2 weeks ago. So I walked out and I complained because it's hot, girl. This is Florida, girl. This is a different type of heat. This heat will make you yearn for hell. Hello, God, this is the heat that you will beg for death, bitch. Okay? Like, you wish Elsa was a real character to come here and freeze this bitch like she did Arendelle, girl. I'm just telling you, girl. It's a different type of heat. And imagine. Oh, girl. I can't live like that. So I finally just was over it. And I went to try to talk to the owner. He wasn't available. So this guy appeared out of nowhere. And he introduced himself to me and told me what his position was. And I was like, okay, cool. Nice to meet you. And he was like, well, what's the problem? And I broke it down to him. He was like, oh no, we're going to get this handled right now. Girl, the next day, they had a brand new banging ass AC unit put in my apartment. They took down them nasty ass ceiling fans, bitch, and put up some really cute lights. Next, they're supposed to be replacing my front door and my back door. They're going to do a walkthrough this week. Because I put some other stuff on the girl. I want these floors redone. I want my bathroom done. At least the vanity and the sink need to be done, girl. These windows are clustered to the shit, girl. It's like, girl, like a pasty bottom, bitch. Sitting on leather seats in the summertime, girl. Boiled alive. Twizzlers left outside in the sun. No, ma'am. It needs to go. So hopefully, and I have, you know me, girl, I'm always thinking of ways to talk my way out of paying for something. So apparently, because these property management cunts messed up my lease, I made it a point to have a conversation with the guy, and he was like, well, we're gonna go over your lease. I said, well, I don't have one. I explained to him the situation, and I said, yeah, remember they went up on my rent? Well, I noticed on my rent thing, again, I don't really pay attention, I'm just paying my bills, right? I never really realized there's a section that separates the rent I was paying, and then there's a month-to-month fee that says $250. So, I'm about to turn this whole thing around, and hopefully it works in my favor. Y'all pray for a bitch, okay? Because I'm gonna try to get over. I explained to this guy, and mind you, the owner, the owner, he's girl, he's feathers in the wind, girl. He's daft as fuck, okay? So I'm gonna tell him, I'm be like, well, you know, I was charged a month-to-month fee, and that fee is only there because I didn't have a standing lease. I wasn't aware of that until January, February. When I look on here, I'm paying a month-to-month fee because I don't have a lease. Girl, I'm gonna finesse my motherfucking way, and I'm gonna see if they can go ahead, bring my monthly rent back to the original, the $850 that it was, Hello Gone. And I'm gonna see if I can either get a refund, because it's not my fault, remember? I wasn't aware that my lease didn't exist. I wasn't aware of that. I should be aware of that. Were there other attempts made? Again, I don't know. I signed my lease. I'm thinking it was there. I went to the DocuSign thing, it was gone. Now, again, none of this is my fault. So I'm gonna ask them to back pay me that $250 month-to-month fee. And if they can't do that, then I want my old monthly price minus that $250 fee for the next 12 months. Or give me half of that last year's refund and then apply what I'm asking for to the next 6 months. Either way, I want some motherfucker. You know me, girl. I want some money back. That'll be a cute little, you know, emergency fund, girl, if they approve it. So I'm hoping, y'all know where I'm going with this. The girls that know, honey. Okay, hello, God. We're going to try, and I'll let y'all know how that goes. But so far, things do seem like they're looking up. I really do appreciate the swift, you know, but again, girl, I've been waiting for almost a better part of a year for some type of blessing and understanding. So it's just the universe playing catch up. Nonetheless, I appreciate it. Anyway, moving on. Oliver Q, hello, God, please stand up. You tragic excuses of existence, girl. Hello, God. I have a few things to say about you girls real quick. You girls are the equivalent of Lent. Lent has no purpose other than to annoy the fuck out of you, especially after you done did your laundry, girl. Hello, God. You done got your lint roller, girl. You done rolled the lint off that bitch and everything, girl. Hello, God. You're on your way to that party. All of a sudden, that white rag you used to wipe your face then got a little bit of that on your black, fresh, crisp shirt. You are annoyed because lint is annoying, just like these two bitches who have obviously nothing else better going on in their life. I said this on the Chasing panel. Shout out to the Chasing panel that I was a part of on Thursday. If you haven't had a chance to go check that episode out, please feel free to do so, girl. It was everything. Shout out to Scotty, T, and Carl for having me. I really do appreciate it, girl. Shout out to Jeremy and Jamar as well, who were not able to attend. But nonetheless, we had an amazing time, girl, okay, period. I gave my little thoughts on that. Oliver said something that I think all of us should be paying attention to. And Dario, whether it's true or whether it's not true, I don't care. On Mad Day, let's explain how that works. Any bitch you done shared tea with, especially personal tea, that's damaging tea to other people, they're going to talk about you. Oh, girl, they're going to bring it up because they no longer are your friends, they're no longer associated with you. It no longer serves them to hold your secrets anymore. Again, whether it's true or not. I don't know these people. I don't know the situation on that level. I don't really have an opinion on whether it's true or not. I have an opinion on character and intention and morality and ethics. Okay? And this is what I want to say. If it is true what Oliver Twix said about Dario allowing him to have girl, I'm trying to say the word, but I can't say it, girl. Purviewed information, right? About cast members. Allegedly, medications. And we all know what that means. Allegedly, legal issues. We all know what that means. And all of the personal things, right? The fact that at the time, you and this person you were friends that you trying to throw under the bus, you are with the shits too. Q, same goes for you. You whores should be ashamed of yourselves. Period. I appreciate you guys spewing the hate that cometh from those godforsaken mouths of yours, because every time you open your mouth, you give us one extra reason not to fuck with y'all. I've been told y'all about Oliver Twix, and I've been kind of told y'all about Q too. Ever since Q did that bullshit with Amani Van Zap and Reese G during that little time period, girl, it was a wrap for me. When he was copying and pasting Google affirmations, girl, and trying to sell a book about it, girl, no man Pam, I was telling y'all about it. And then when you notice that the power of so-called 3, girl, hello God, also Lauren England, look at all these characters that we're talking about here. The intentions, everything that these people have displayed across our screen. They're not to be trusted. So are we surprised that these bitter cunts get on these platforms and go to spewing foolishness. And what's it all for at the end of the day? Girl, that stuff is old, it's dried up, girl. Girl, please. Get a life. And like Andario said, girl, you know, y'all must miss me. Because that's what it's giving. Especially when shit's just kind of like coming out of the blue. And you know what I live for too? When Andario did his live. The way in which he served Truth and Justice and gave receipts, and then not too much long later, I think it was like the next day, you saw the energy of Oliver Twixt and especially Q. They had no choice but to check the energy, girl. It's not what people say, it's what they're not saying. And it's how their body language and their energy is, right? It was very couch slouch, girl. It was giving, let me just shut up because I'm not ready for the actual war. And it made me believe Andario even more. Catch that tea, girl. It's the Bitter Bitch link up, honey. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all hoes earned them seats in the fan club. Shout out to Megan. Hello, God. Anyway. Donnie Moon. So a lot of people, you know, were sending me clips, girl. And, you know, I respond in my own time. I want to say this real quick to a lot of the girls. Well, there's a few things I need to say to the girls. The first thing I want to say is this. I am never mad when these cast members of these shows respond in kind to what's being said about them by us reviewers. I am never upset about that. I expect you to get out here in these streets of life, girl. Hello, God, and defend your character. I expect that. But it's also about the way you need to be doing it. Okay? So, yeah. Donnie, girl, trying to read me for my kidneys and my liver and my health or whatever, girl. Late, tired, and through. But I get it. I understand it, girl. Trying to read my sister and fellow Christ, girl. Hello, God. The cat's meow, girl. Because we're speaking on what we're seeing on the show. Y'all obviously watch us, right? So I want to go back to the first review. And it's almost always in the first review of every show where we as reviewers have no choice but to give a little disclaimer before we get into the things of those things, right? And that disclaimer, and I'm going to speak for myself, that disclaimer that I give is letting y'all know I am your mirror. I am you and how you treat other people and how you look on the screen. I am going to go ahead and give you back what you have given, what you have shown. So why y'all get mad because of the shade in the reading? Yeah, sometimes I will agree. I can go a little left. I'll agree with that. I'll say I can go a little bit left. But I have to back that up by saying no one likes a boring bitch. Okay? So most of you, it could be a little shady, it could be a little funny, it could come across as tearing the girls down, but I'm always going to try to lift the girls up at the same time, if it's needed, required, and desired. So when y'all get on these shows and y'all show y'all natural asses, and y'all get upset because the reviewers have had some things to say that go towards your character. I'm sorry, Miss Moon. If I've worked in 12 years in the drug rehabilitation, hello God, mental dual diagnosis world, right? My expertise, my eyes see everything I need to see to conclude that this is Drugiana. Because I've met bitches with anxiety. I've met bitches who have all kinds of social awkward ass shit going on. I've met the girls who are on the spectrum. I've met the girls who are on Drugiana. I've met it all. And you came across as a classic case of someone who was partaking in Drugiana, honey. Now, I should have kept saying the word allegedly or we don't know. You know, could have went as something as simple as asking the question. But let's just tell the truth, too. Have you ever asked a crackhead or a drug addict straight to the face that question? What are they going to tell you? 9 times out of 10, well, shit, 10 times out of 10, they're going to tell you that they're not an addict. They don't partake in drugs because they know the negative tag that goes along with it. So even doing something as simple as asking, you know, do you partake in a little, you know, winter wonderland, bitch? You know, are you and Dre Simba girl getting together? You know, letting it go, snorting the snow. Hello, God. Laughing all the way, ha ha ha, bells on pop-tails ring, making spirits bright. How much fun it is to snort that coke tonight. You know what I'm saying, girl? Like, I just want to know, could you really feel some type of way that that is the assumption of most people? But again, I get it. You got to defend yourself. And if I were you, I would do the same thing. Okay? Although you have graced platforms, right, down to the Kiki panel. And what is old boy's name, honey? Savion? I think that's his name. He did an interview, right? And people were clipping that shit and sending it to me. And I'm just like, wow. I'm gonna shout out to homeboy, Savion. I'm gonna let you know this because I'm a real bitch. I'm so glad I didn't just look at the clips and I saw the whole interview. Because I was gonna have to, girl, let me tell you something. Savion, girl, I love you now. But I was gonna have to come for you, girl, because I thought you was sowing seeds of discourse, honey. But the way in which I felt the genuine, you know, towards the end of the interview, you were just like, I like YB. Is there a way that y'all can? And you were defending the way in which I give my reviews. And I appreciate it. And shout out to Chloe and whoever that was in the background on that Kiki panel. I don't know who you are. Maybe I do know who you are if I saw your face or you said who you were. But I heard someone in the background talking to Chloe and Harviana and Donnie about me, defending me. Whoever you are, girl, I appreciate it, okay? And that's the thing, though. I need y'all to understand, if there is change, if there are things that you got going on that I can live for and that I can give good commentary on and give you your things for in a positive way, I will do that. I do that with a lot of people. You'll be surprised. There are a lot of girls in the beginning. Markel is a witness. Hello, God. Reese G is a witness, girl. Hello, God. There's a lot of people that in the beginning of their, you know, their tenure on a show, I did not see it for them. But girl, we grew because they grew. Understandings, hello God, were happening. So as I see and as I can tell in this episode 7 that I need to give my review on, I gotta watch the episode again. But again, if you want some of my, you know, quieter thoughts, well, they're not really quiet because you know me, I'm not a quiet bitch. Go down to the chasing panel that was held on Thursday. I gave a little bit of 1-2 around the house. You know what I'm saying? A little yang around the house, girl. But I do have to give my actual review on that episode. But like I gave you I was living for the scene. I was living for the scene with your boyfriend. You seem very calm and even keel now. Moving forward to the next episode that we're gonna get this week, I'm living for the apology tour that you're on, girl. It seems very genuine. Like there is something happened to where you realize the error of thine ways and how you're treating people and how you're coming across on our screen. more than likely, that is when you will receive what you need from me. Well, not that you need it, but you know what I mean. I'm not always a bitch. Now, there are certain people that get that from me through and through. I'm sorry. Lauren England, she's forever gonna get that from me. Bitch, I'm sorry. Tedley, I be trying, girl, but Tedley, I think you're just in, you're in the running to becoming drug for the next several years. If you're a part of this brand or not, girl, y'all know Lauren England still gets strays to this day, bitch, and we ain't seen her in many moons. Okay, let's just tell the truth, girl. Certain people just gonna be catching that work for a lifetime, girl, period. But I say all of this to say, when you guys are going to do these shows, check yourself at the door. You can be entertaining, you can highlight your chase, you can be a great personality on this platform. Just do it by being yourself. And if you're deciding not to be yourself and you're trying to add a little extra boom cat to the situation, girl, to bring some, you know, life to these situations, which I get and I respect and I understand, because again, no one likes a boring bitch. There's a way to do that without coming off like an erratic, crazy cunt. Okay? Girl. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Not really. That was kind of it. Y'all, I'm working on some things. I have 3 people from this current season of Dallas that I'm trying to get with. Because let's just tell the truth, girl. We have to have a conversation about race relations. There needs to be a conversation. I'm no longer... I'm trying to wait until the season's over with. But I feel like the conversation's kind of needed now. But I think it would be best served after the season's over with. That way we can really dive into the minutia. Okay? But if it happens before, then you know I'll let y'all know, girl. It will definitely be live and in color, bitch. Serving truth and justice. And for the life of me, I'm going to leave y'all with this. I still do not understand. I think what it is because we're in our skin, right? It's difficult for most people to picture themselves being someone else. I want to leave y'all with this real quick as my black and brown folks, my gays, the queer, the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus community, bitch. We know what it's like to feel out of place. Hello, God. We know what it is like to have to work at being so confident to where your daggers no longer affect us. The energy, the hateful energy that's served oftentimes in this life towards people who don't fit the acceptable social standard. So when I say that we are not just black people, but we are part of the LGBTQ spectrum, we got 2 things now. Right? And then let's count a third for most of us, because when you're part of the spectrum, on top of that, every one of us have a little something about us that gives us that extra weird flavor. So that's another thing that deals with adversity. Because let's tell the punks, the gays, whatever you want to call it, girl, we have a little flair about us. Most, if not all, have that little extra something that's identifiable in what you've been ridiculed for. So with that understanding, how fucking dare we sit here and try to treat others and act as if others' experiences do not matter? I will say this again, they are not us, but in some ways, they are like us. Not all, but some. So I just challenge y'all with that understanding. See where the fuck it is that I've been coming from this whole season as it relates to how these poor Latinos, Spanish girls have been treated. There's this constant thing as it relates to Zesty about Zesty mentioning crackheads and, being on government assistance. Did we not hear him have a conversation about that was his life growing up? We as black people do that all the time too. Look at these crackheads, girl. Look at these you live in a trap house. Girl, you getting on government assistance, girl. You down to the community action, Dre Simba, girl, getting another blue backpack to gallivant around the streets of life, bitch. Hello, God. You know what it's like to go down there to the church to get your light bill paid, bitch. We talk about those girls all the time. I've stood in line at a church while talking about bitches standing in line at a church, being a jokey ass type of nigga. So don't sit here and try to throw that boy under the bus. I don't like how he talks about this, and I don't like how he talks about that. Girl, we do it to ourselves, bitch. We do it too. And 9 times out of 10, the people that use that as a shade or a read or a joke for the moment, they know what it's like too. And if we listened, hello God, to understand and not to respond, we'll be able to know that that was his life. And the energy in which those reads have been served was not, in my opinion, I'm a bitch that knows how to read a room. Not saying that, girl, my judgments are absolute and final, girl. They're not always, but they are. Hello, God. I'm pretty good at discernment. These girls are not trying to be shady or nasty towards us and our people whatsoever. But what I do see and hear a lot throughout this entire season is a lot of black folks, black gay queers, punks, that have been through their own bullshit of adversity, dealing with hateration, prejudice, hello God, discrimination, racism, being targeted, bitch, and oftentimes by your own goddamn family and friends in your neighborhood. Give these girls some motherfucking grace already. But we're not going to sit and overlook all of the punches, the daggers, the swords, the knives, girl, that have been thrown at these girls either. We're not overlooking it. And I know where it's coming from, girl. A lot of y'all have this, I'm going to protect my own regardless of what they do, if it's right or wrong or indifferent. And let me tell you something. You enabling ass cunts are the reason why we've been stagnant as a motherfucking people. Because you ain't willing to call out bullshit when it needs to be called out. But no worries, girl. Life always provides even balance, and that's why the fuck I'm here, girl. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hello, God. Be blessed and never stress, honey, okay? And remember that health is truly wealth. Until the next video, y'all. Take care. Bye.